podcast. Súbele volumen. Conversation with the people who were with me. In the world TV. Carlos Tonight. Historias de un reportero. Carlos Tonight.
Everybody, we did it. I'm Carlos Correa, and welcome to Season 2 of Carlos Tonight. I can't believe that it was a year ago this month that I started my podcast, and I just want to say a special thank you to my friend Lindsay Hood, who encouraged me and gave me the idea, and a couple of weeks ago also encouraged me to continue doing the show. So thank you, Lindsay. And I also want to give a shout out to the Big Levecki, Jason Levecki. He was another guest of mine in Season 1. He was also my photographer in my news days back in San Diego. So what's up to him? And hopefully he can come back on the show. I love his spirit, and he's a good guy, and we had fun talking. All right. So Season 2. So let's see. I have a lot of surprises coming up. It's been a very busy 3 to 4 months for me. I grew a beard. Well, people say it's a stubble. My friend Nick says it's a stubble. But I decided one day that I would post about it. And I did a survey asking people if I should, grow a beard. And the majority of the people said yes. There was maybe 2 people that said no. We're not friends with them anymore. Just kidding. So I decided to start growing a beard just to see what I look like. And being on television for almost 20 years, I never grew a beard out. I have been getting a lot of attention because it's unlike me, I guess, because I'm always clean shaven. Anyway, I'm very excited to explore the beard life and see what that's all about. Anyway, the most important thing in the last 4 months, besides finding a new hangout spot, new friends, new church, a new community, I found myself. And to me, that was the most important part. And I have more details coming up in the new season. What else? Also, coming up in Season 2 of Carlos Tonight, I have a lot of guests who are going to come on. We have I'm going to call him a Dr. Love to talk about relationships. We have someone who's coming on to talk about where I was born in Colombia and talk about that. What else? We have a couple of people that I once interviewed when I worked in television. They're going to come on and share their story and see what they're up to. So before I introduce my first guest of the new season, head over to carlostonight.com for the latest on the podcast. Listen and watch past episodes and check out upcoming guests. That's carlostonight.com. All right, I want to introduce you to a great guy who is also a recording artist, a songwriter, and he pretty much does it all. He recently released new music for us to enjoy. He not only spends a lot of time in the studio, but you'll see he spends a lot of time at the gym. Ladies and gentlemen, MC Hollar, welcome to Carlos Tonight. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Nice to see you, and hello to your lively studio audience. Oh wait, it's just you.
Yeah, they're back there.
Right, yeah.
We're gonna edit them later.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get right to it. Your new song, Promises. It's out right now. I really enjoyed that song. I was listening to it on the way here. And how did you come up with it?
Well, good question. So I wrote Promises about a breakup. I broke up with, actually I was dumped by my cheating ex-boyfriend of almost 6.5, 7 years. And it was just a lot of back and forth. It was a really tumultuous, toxic relationship, and a lot of broken promises. So, hence Promises.
Who would dump you?
Apparently him. Yeah, we broke up, and he immediately, kind of did his own thing that he was doing the whole time while we were together. So, without having to cheat, he just kept slutting around.
What a dog.
It honestly turned out to be a blessing in disguise, because I was able to channel that heartache and that tumultuous period of my life into some quality music, and it's brought forth a passion of mine that I wasn't able to harness until then. So I guess in hindsight, I definitely should have ended that relationship sooner, but I'm glad that it happened the way it did, I guess, because of what kind of came out of it.
In this, I was watching a video of yours. I think it was like in March of last year, where just the idea of the song was coming together. Is that right?
Yeah, it was March of this year. So that was when we broke up. And I didn't know exactly how to handle it. You know, I'm a writer. I'm a very passionate person. I'm a Cancer. So that was my outlet, was writing. And I've always been interested in music. It's been my passion since I was a child, growing up singing in Catholic choir. And at that point in my life, I was just like, you know what, enough is enough. Why am I continuing to put this on hold and waiting for an opportunity? I just need to manifest my own opportunity and take my destiny into my own hands. So I got into the studio, started listening to these beats, and then I heard the Promises beat, and I was like, Lord, that's it. And yeah, I didn't want it to be a breakup song. I wanted it to be an empowerment song about, hey, like, you know what, you broke your promises to me, but I'm gonna promise myself to never live beneath my dignity again. And so far, so good.
I like the part where it's like, to the left, I'm done with you, and then
Yeah,
but
it's a
I
double
the
in.
problem is I still love you.
Yeah, so at the time, it was fresh. Like, I wrote the song in April, we broke up in March. So, and it's you spend 6.5, 7 years with someone, you're always going to, I guess, maybe have a spot in your heart for them. Um, and I wanted people to understand that message. Like, just because you break up with someone and they've wronged you and done awful things, doesn't mean that that person can't be redeemed and they can't have their own personal redemption. Like, I will never forgive, but the Lord will forgive him. But and I still, have love and respect for him as a human being, and I wish him nothing but the best. But I just wish that it's completely separate from me and we never see each other again.
So no chance of being friends.
No, then it's just, I think I
Wow.
think
Okay.
I think after a while you have to own your self-worth. And if someone has done things to you that has compromised your ability to do so, it's important that you remove that from your life. Energy can penetrate our skin and our lives. You know, it's like a semi-permeable membrane. The energy in their aura, the actions that they do, it hurts us internally and externally. So if we continue to allow that energy and that past around you, it's only going to remind ourselves of that toxicity. And I think because I'm such a caring and forgiving person, if I tried to maintain a friendship with him, um, it would almost excuse and invalidate my experience, and I can't allow that. Like, the only consequence I could give that man is the removal of me from his life. Like, that is your consequence. We can't be friends. We won't have a relationship, um, because of your actions. And that's why it's a double entendre. To the left, I'm done with you. Like, I'm a huge Beyonce fan, so I said to the left,
Hmm.
but also swipe left, swipe left.
Now, when I was listening to the song, I was reminded of some of the experience that I have gone through just this summer. Do you get that a lot from people who listen to your song?
Recently it's been nice because since the video released a couple weeks ago, it's reinvigorated the song, and it's kind of taken a new life of its own, and people were able to understand the story once they had the video medium to accompany the lyrics. And I was really happy with that because, just like you said, we all go through these things, and sometimes we feel like we're experiencing them in a vacuum. And I was glad to let people know that regardless of my, whatever preconceived notion that someone may have, is I'm still someone that can be dumped. I'm still someone that's going to go through, heartache, and kind of commiserating and sharing that with people was nice. And I was really humbled by the reaction, um, and the response that I got. And more recently, since I released Wrapped in Love, one of my new songs just reached 100,000 streams on Spotify, streaming everywhere.
Yay.
And this is a love song, and I'm single and ready to mingle, but I wanted to write a song about love and just in general, not just a romantic love, but a love for a friend and a love for a parent and a love for a pet. And that's why I wrote Wrapped in Love and released it on Beyonce's birthday, because I love her. And it, this was my ode to, it was my crazy in love, my dangerously in love, my drunken love, I'm wrapped in love. And I really love when people listen to the lyrics, and especially as an LGBTQ plus IA artist, I growing up never had a song that spoke to the things that I wanted to experience secretly with all my little friends and my baseball team, my football team. And it was nice now that I have that, and I was able to give that to everyone. And we all those little boys and girls that are just like me now, they have that song. And I love Kisses on My Ankle Bone. I love 34 plus 35. I love very romantic, passionate moments with that person that is significant to you. And now I was able to document that in a song, and it was really special.
So whether you know it or not, you're a role model. How does that make you feel, knowing that young LGBT kids are going to be listening to your music, inspiring, getting some inspiration?
It is the most important pressure of my life, is to make sure that I understand my position as a role model. I wore my Marine Corps shirt for this interview because the Marine Corps instilled in me those values. And from a very young age, my favorite quote has always been "Pressure is a privilege." And recently I have been more so honoring that quote, but growing up, it stuck with me, because I always would feel, geez, why me? Like, I have to do all this nonsense. I have all these people expecting so much of me constantly. And you understand this, I'm sure, as well, as being a person of color, a man of color. The societal pressures that they put on us, not only just to meet the standard, the norm, we always have to excel just to earn our seat at the table. And that, over time, was troubling to me. But then I turned that into my source of power. And that pressure has become a privilege, because people that expect those high things of me, I should honor that, because they see my value, they see my worth. So now when I feel pressure, I'm like, you know what? It's because I'm the baddest bitch that ever let you hit.
That's right. That's right.
And okay, I need to rise up. I need to step this pussy up.
That's cool. So when you were in the Marine Corps, did you have that gift of wanting to make music?
Oh, I did. So Marine Corps cadence, it's bop, 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 left, right, left, left, right, left. And I love that, because that was my only outlet for music in the military. So I always gravitated towards drill, which is the foundation of good order and discipline in the Marine Corps. So I would always turn my military cadence into songs that I would hear at the time. Like, if Adele's Rolling in the Deep,
Oh, yeah.
kind of, you can step your feet to it. It's like left, right, left, right, your left foot, righty, left, right, your left foot, right, your lefty, right, and step. And I would sing that in cadence to my Marines, and they're like, okay, all right, let's get it. And, they would be excited, because we didn't have music, we didn't have radio, we didn't have TV. We had drill. And that was my opportunity to use music as an outlet in my current career. And I was kind of hungry for it. I was always looking for it. And, I have so many songs I turned into cadences. And that was one of the things I was known for in the military, was my voice and my ability to call cadence. And if you check out my YouTube channel, you will see a video of me when I was a senior at the Naval Academy. I was company commander for Plebe Summer. I was calling cadence for my plebes while the Secretary of Defense and President Obama were flying over in a helicopter. So it's
Nice.
one of my favorite memories.
Very nice. By the way, you have a beautiful voice.
Ah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Like it's certainly a work in progress. I'm hoping it continues to I continue to grow and be coachable and hone my craft and my instrument. And I'm trying to currently I'm in the process of learning how to read music and play piano. And I'm so excited for one of my new songs coming out. It's gonna be called Spangled, and I was inspired. I wrote it on 9/11. I wrote the song, composed the music all on my own on 9/11. And the premise for the song was how this beautiful flag, Star Spangled Banner, um, the emblem of America, this symbol, and kind of sometimes feeling left out, not feeling like it was for me. And because as a person of color, as a minority, as a man, um, as a pansexual, as a you know guy under 5'8",
Yeah.
of all these minorities, one, I felt like what on that flag represents me? Where's my color? So one of the lines in the song is like, stars and stripes I see, but no color represents me. Because I feel as though sometimes in America there's this false promise and where liberty and justice for all, equality, we're equals. But then you look around in actual reality, and that's not the case in this country, unfortunately. But as the song progresses, it's similar to the Star Spangled Banner, where it's like, bombs bursting in the air, our flag is still there. That hope is still there, that we can rise to that level when everyone in this country feels as though they're represented, and everyone in this country feels as though they have a voice. And that's the message of the song that I want people to understand is I'm not I'm not taking down anything from America. I'm just looking at it honestly and as a mirror, that there's still a lot of growth in myself that I need to have to honor this symbol and to be a part of this country. But in return, the country needs to acknowledge and accept that still needs to grow. Its perception needs to
Hmm.
change. And the time of these old nationalist Caucasian men who think they that we're still in chains and that I should be picking cotton, and Mexicans should be deported, and Afghan refugees that are literally having their homes blown up don't have a place here. There's no place for you in this country. Actually, you're the minority. So then I want people to understand that.
How important is that song right now, you think?
It's so important, and that's why I'm taking my time with it. Like I don't want it necessarily to just be a song. I want it to be a public service announcement. I want it to be a statement. I want it to be also my platform for my purpose. And there cannot be any mistakes in it because it's so important to me. And if I do it right, where it's true to myself and true to my artistry, I think a lot of people, it's going to resonate with them.
And you're not from California.
I'm not. How'd you know?
You're from Boston, right?
Yes. Yes, sir, I am. I park my car in Harvard
I was
Yard
gonna
every day.
go park my car. Okay. So how long have you been living in
Well,
California?
a little under 2 years. So, by the grace of God, I was able to secure a job with NASA. And I moved out here knowing that I wanted to pursue my music career. I knew that God had put me in this position not so that I can continue in my current career, not that I have any problems with it, and not that I'm super grateful for this opportunity, but we only have so many chances in life, and in order to pursue that passion. I'm sure you were doing something completely different before you started this podcast, and then there came a point where you were like, you know what, girl, the
Yes.
time is now. And season one was a success, and here comes season two, and that's how I feel too. It's like I only have one life to live, and tragically, at the end of 2018, my older brother passed away. And
I'm sorry to hear that.
since then, thank you. It was so crazy. It was from diabetes. So please, especially if you're a person of color, not born with diabetes and develop diabetes later in life, it can become extremely challenging because you grow up not knowing how to manage your sugar and being insulin dependent and all these other things. So my brother, he struggled with it for 10 years and had one bad day. That's all it takes, diabetes, and you could be taken out. So once that happened, I said enough is enough. I need to understand who I am and who I want to be. And that's when I started looking at other jobs and positions. I was like, I can't afford to not work and pursue music, but I can change the location and where I work that will enable me to simultaneously pursue my music while also taking strides in my career. And this opportunity presented itself, and I just dove right in.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, let's talk about. I mentioned that you spend a lot of time with your music, but you also spend a lot of time at the gym.
I do. I don't know if you noticed. Yeah, but
Listen, I started working out like really heavily about 3 months ago, 3 or 4
okay,
months ago.
that's all.
So
That's right. That's the point.
I'm down 22 pounds so far,
Oh my God,
and
Carlos!
as of
Congratulations.
last week, I grew this little beard thing.
Yeah, I like it.
So
It's very fitting. Makes you a
I
little bit
like
rugged.
yours.
Oh, thank you. So people
So
always
is
think
it hard for you to like motivate yourself to go to the gym?
no. Uh, so believe it or not, I had a time in my life where I struggled with anger, and um, I think it was because I was in the closet and frustrated on life, and I just needed a
Hmm.
man. I'm just kidding, but no, it was a tough time for me. And I got in a fight with another Marine, and my gunnery sergeant, he sent me to anger management, and it was honestly one of the best things that could happen to me because I was able to get those tools to cope with my anger and myself that I didn't have before. Plain and simple. Like I unfortunately did not grow up with my father consistently in my life, and my mother was single most of her time raising me, and my 11 brothers and sisters. So like she didn't have time for that. She was too busy trying to hustle and put food on the table, and somehow she got a master's degree in education while raising us. And that woman is a saint. I love you, mama. Uh, but it was really good for me to find that outlet. And around the time I was in anger management, they suggested I go to the gym, and I never left.
Nice. Okay.
I, I I went into that gym 130 pounds, and I came out 30 pounds heavier. I started lifting, and it became not just an outlet for my mental health and to put my anger, but then it slowly started to become part of my lifestyle. And my food changed, my diet
Yep.
changed. And then once you notice your body changing, you say, okay,
Okay.
abs,
Yeah.
hello,
Hello.
hey, where you been in my
Yeah,
life?
exactly. Don't you ever
So yeah,
feel
I
like,
committed.
do you ever feel like, why didn't I start this like sooner? I know I did.
No,
No.
no, that I'm not one of those people that say I have no regrets. I have plenty of regrets. My last relationship is one of them. But
Hmm.
I think it's okay to have regrets for me and my journey. It's different for yours.
Hmm.
I don't want your journey. I want my journey.
Hmm.
And for me, I have regrets. But starting when I started wasn't one of them because early in my career in the Marine Corps, I fell in love with running and I loved it. I couldn't get enough. I grew up a heavy kid. Um, so every step I was taking, it was a jab at some bully making fun of me because I was a little chubby buddy, um, or it was carving away those Reese cups I had at midnight when I wasn't supposed to,
Yeah.
or it was so I think it happened when it was supposed to happen, and I was ready for it. And had it happened sooner, I might have felt I maybe not would not have been as committed. So I'm glad that it happened when it did because I was ready.
How would you describe the way you juggle everything? Music, NASA,
Uh,
gym, doing this interview.
Yeah, so it's been quite the balancing act for sure. Like I literally, worked a 10-hour day, and I'm in my gym parking lot right now doing this interview. But what energizes me honestly is even though we haven't met in person, is all of our conversations before this interview, and then finally getting to talk to you face to face, I feel invigorated. I feel re-energized. I feel ready to emote and to put this energy into the interview because it's important to me and it's my passion. So I'm doing I'm only doing things that matter to me, and I'm only doing things that are worth my time. So that's why I don't really feel as much strain or stress when I do them, because they feed me. Beyonce, she talks about, if you can find that thing that makes you want to stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning, you'll never stop doing it. You'll never work a day in your life. And so even though I'm putting in more work and more hours into dance rehearsals for my videos and performances and photo shoots and modeling and ghosties for acting roles, and I was on To Tell the Truth with Anthony Anderson, and one thing after another, one blessing after another, being here tonight with you, it's these opportunities are here now. So if I'm not ready for it, it's gonna be like one of my other songs that's coming out next month. You snooze, you lose. So someone
Yeah.
else is gonna be hungrier. So I have to stay ready, um, and stay passionate, and make sure I know myself, because people think that when you get into the industry, you just can make songs and collect your check. But no, there's wardrobe, there's makeup, there's interviews, there's hair, there's branding, there's marketing, there's logos, there's design, there's consults and fittings and photo shoots, and like it never stops. Like it's 90% of my time is not actually singing on stage or performing in the studio. It's all the branding and the kind of exposure and the marketing, the networking. So you have to be ready for this life, because it's not just about you know making a nice song.
Does Little Nas X inspire you? The way he came out. I know you came out before, but
Yeah.
does that ever inspire you? Or...
It's tough, because I feel so like sometimes people get in this little double-edged sword with ageism. Like people don't want to admit to being inspired by someone younger than them. I just turned 30 in July, and I have no problem admitting it. He, in his own way, is an inspiration, and he's finding his own lane to do it in his own way. And I don't necessarily agree with everything he does, and I don't necessarily agree with or enjoy every one of his songs. But what I have enjoyed and found motivation from is how he's staying true to himself, and how he remains
Mhm.
genuine. And at the end of the day, he's changing what people the perception of what people have of a LGBTQ artist. And
Mhm.
he deserves everything that is coming to him. He deserves to be commended for that. And he also, my only takeaway or my only advice to him would to be to step into his position and own it, and also start to speak with an authority. And I think he probably will do that as he matures and ages. Right now he's living his life, and if I was his age out there twerking on the VMA stage, and being such a professional that he is, I mean, I can't do anything but applaud him, and hope one day we get to work together. And he can continue to inspire me, and maybe I can inspire him.
I would love to see the collaboration.
Lord, I'm gonna have to check his ID. That young boy.
Yeah. Tell me where you've been performing, sharing your songs lately.
Yeah. So my first and only live performance so far has been at Rocco's in West Hollywood. I have done a wedding. My best friend since first grade. Oh my God, it was like the most humbling experience of my life. He asked me to perform a spotlight at his wedding, and him and his wife, they've been dating since they were 15 years old. Funny story, for senior week, we actually did a prank where he went to this private Catholic school because he's fancy, um, and I went to the local public school. I
Okay.
went to the local public school in the same town, and for our senior prank, he was like, "I dare you to sneak into the school and come to my lunch," and I was like, "Okay." So we've been best friends
Okay.
like our entire life, and our families know each other. Like his older brother was good friends with my older brother. Um, but yeah, so those are the two performances I've done live so far. I'm currently in negotiations to do a fashion show, so
Oh,
fingers
great.
crossed on that.
Yes.
And
Prayers to
all of
you.
my music, Jesus, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. But all of my music is streaming everywhere, on Spotify, Apple, Tidal, iHeart Radio, wherever you can find music, you can find MC Hollar.
Cool. And we can also reach you on Instagram, right?
Yes, sir. My Instagram is MC Hollar as well, and you can find most of my weekly thirst traps and some modeling shoots and things I'm doing. But social media for me, honestly, I'm a student. I'm still learning this game. I don't know how to talk or tick. I don't know what that's about, but I'm learning how to do that nonsense. I'm learning how to Twitter. So if you guys got some hints and some pointers, let me know and what you want to see, because I don't know what I'm doing on social media. It's weird because, as a millennial, everyone thinks that we grew up with it. You should know how to use it. But at 17, I was in the military. At 25,
Yeah.
I was graduating the Naval Academy. I was an intelligence officer. I was worried about China, Russia, and all of our adversaries. I wasn't ticking or talking or Facebooking. So it's a learning process for me, but I love it. It's such a interesting medium, that if used appropriately and not in the hands of an incompetent former president, it can be it can be a great tool to inform people and reach others. And I like that about it. And that especially in an emergency, I love, or not love, but it's really awesome to see during an emergency like an earthquake, you get that flash on Instagram or Facebook, and someone actually tracks them down by using social media, like that Netflix documentary "Don't Mess with Cats." Like, social media people are not playing games. So like
They're
I love
not.
that.
Like my notification this morning was this, and so it got me to go to the gym,
Okay, thank
which I
you.
did.
Aw,
Thank you.
that's
Thank
yeah,
you.
and then that's the thing too. Same thing. I will see some of these influencers and other bodybuilders, and I'm just like, how these are not my peers. How do they look like that? Because I just had a couple Reese cups and a peanut butter jelly sandwich, and I got ramen in the microwave.
That
So,
sounds so good right now.
but no, I right? Okay, like people see this body and they assume things, but I'm a low key a fat kid at heart. Like you are always you are always the same kid that you grew up as, and I love me some Little Debbie. I love me chips. Ugh, don't get me started on chips. That's my weakness.
Nice. What kind of chips do you eat?
Anything I hear that bag open. I've been fiending for these kettle chips lately. Shout out to that salt and pepper kettle chip. You guys know what you're doing. But Doritos, Sun Chips, yeah, anything. Pringles.
All that stuff. So, you're sitting in the parking lot of your gym. How do you get like
Yeah.
pumped up and ready to walk in the door?
It depends on what I'm doing today. So today is a shoulder day for me. So my main motivation is like, okay, I need to hit my shoulders really hard, but I need to make sure I stretch and don't injure myself, because I love playing tennis. So obviously you need your shoulders and your arms for that. It's a big arm sport. So I always listen to my body, and I think that's really important for anyone when you're doing a workout. If your body is telling you to stop or to drop the weight, drop the weight. Stop. Listen to your body. Your People forget, human beings we're animals first. We are creatures on a hostile planet. First and foremost, these clothes, this hair, this eye, you know, me beating my face before the internet. all that is just all that is drag, as as Madonna would say, or
Mhm.
RuPaul, one of them. But everything else, we're boiled down. We are creatures on a planet, so we need to remember that we have instincts. And I tell myself every morning, am I on the hunt or am I being hunted? Um, and because then you have to conduct yourself differently. So every day before, if I'm going before my workout, I started with a stretch, listen to some music. A lot of times it's my own, because I have to multitask.
I was gonna ask you. I'm like, do you listen to your own music?
I do. I have a couple remixes of my songs that I love to listen to right before workout. But then, sometimes I will just go on, Apple, Tidal, or Spotify, and just hit new trending and listen, because I love to get inspired by what the kids are doing, what my peers are doing, seasoned great artists. Music is such a beautiful thing where it doesn't necessarily have to be a workout song to inspire a workout. sometimes I'm listening to Disney classics like A Whole New World.
I thought I was the only one who did that.
Oh no, I'm right there with you.
I was listening to The Little Mermaid the other day.
Okay.
You poor unfortunate
Yeah.
soul, that one.
Oh wow, I gotta hear that.
So can you give us a little sample of Promises before we let you go?
Yeah. Do you want the singing part or the rapping part? Because I like to be versatile.
Ooh, how about both?
Okay.
Yes, let's do both.
All right. I said, yeah, I'll be the baddest bitch to ever let you hit. Achoo! Sorry, motherfucker, but I'm done blessing you. Yeah, I was sad to leave, but now, motherfucker, I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. Promise I'm done with you. Promise I'm done with you. Problem is I still love you. Hey, to the left I'm done with you. To the left I'm done with you. Problem is I still love you.
I love that part.
Yeah, it's honest. Like I feel like that's my music. You know, Lauryn Hill is another huge influence of mine, and I never understood what she meant in her Unplugged MTV performance when she said my music is about me first, and I was like, what do you mean? It's about I'm the fan. You should be catering to me first. But now that I am making my new music and writing my own songs, it's about me first, and I needed to understand who I was as an artist before I could let anyone else tell me who I was. And that has been so important to me because people tell me sometimes like, hey, like, why are you singing about a girl in this song and then a guy in this song? And I was like, it's because that's what I was hungry for at the moment. Like, I mean, I'm a pansexual man. I'm a pansexual man. And if I see a beautiful woman walking down the street, killing it in some stilettos, first I want to ask her where she got it. And then I want to ask her on a date. And okay. And then sometimes when I see this, you know, big juicy gorilla and, you know, pumping in the gym, I'm like, good Lord. Like, first I want to ask him, you know, what he's doing and how, and then I want to ask him for a drink.
Okay.
So, you know, it's who I am. I finally am okay. And I don't feel, you know, people would always say, oh, you're bisexual or you're greedy or this. And no, I'm pansexual because it doesn't matter to me if they're a trans man or a trans woman or a cis man or a cis woman, you know, overweight, average size, muscular, anything. I have dated and been attracted to people at all ends of the spectrum because I think at the ultimate, you know, at the core of who we are is not about our exterior, it's our interior. So if you can't love the person who's behind those muscles, then it's nothing. It's you're dating them for the aesthetic and for the clout or the you know, to kind of brag and say, look at this trophy that I have. And
Right.
I'm not into that. You know, I want a partner. And you know, people ask me why am I single and do I want a boyfriend or a girlfriend? I'm like, no, I really don't want that anymore. I want a partner. I don't want a boyfriend. I don't want a girlfriend. My next relationship, whoever it's with, they'll be my partner.
That's great. Beautiful. If
Thank
you're
you.
wondering what any of those words are, Google it, right?
Yes, please inform yourself. DM me, ask me. I will tell you what I know, and if I don't, I'll be the first to let you know. You know, I will find out and report back because NASA, you know, has taught me a lot. But one thing that I'm really grateful for to them is they just did an interview on me, and that article was super personal, but it was an opportunity for my peers and coworkers to know who I am because I feel like sometimes we all have biases, and when you see me, they see a bodybuilder, put together, you know, young guy in a successful job, whatever. They could assume that it's always been that way, and it certainly has not. I'm one of 12 kids. I grew up extremely poor. You know, there was a period of in my life where I was in foster care. There was a period of my life where I was homeless. And all of that adversity has brought me here and has never changed who I am as a person, and I've never been defeated by it. And society tells us, you know, to be ashamed of those things, and you know, don't tell people about your struggles, and just let them see your shine. No, people need to understand that you can start at anywhere it's not about where you start. It's how you finish and the journey of how you got there. And I'm not done yet. I'm still on my journey. I'm still gonna struggle. I'm still going to have adversity. And it's the strength and the experience and the wisdom from overcoming those things that will inform my success in the future.
MC Hollar, you are very inspiring. I love your music. I love your accent. And you inspire me not only at the gym, but you inspire me to live my best life. So thank you for your time and talking to me. I appreciate it. I know the listeners and the viewers will appreciate it too.
Yeah, honestly, this is my second interview, for a YouTube platform and podcast. And thank you so much. I'm humbled that you wanted to interview me and take time and put me on your show. I'm hoping that we will, in the future, get to see each other in person, and hopefully you can interview me again someday.
Absolutely. I'll be going to California soon, so I'll hit you up.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll be here.
God bless you. And you're invited anytime you want to come back, share some new music.
I sure will. And I'm going to hold you to that.
Promise I'm done with you. Promise I'm done with you. Problem is I still love you. To the left I'm done with you. To the left I'm done with you. Problem is I still love you.
And that's a wrap. Thanks so much for listening and for watching. This has been the season premiere of Carlos Tonight, Season 2. Thank you so much for checking us out. This episode was written and produced by yours truly, Carlos Correa. You can find more information on the podcast, as well as listen to past episodes, check out upcoming guests. That's carlostonight.com. Once again, my theme was performed and created by Sken Galis. Thank you, Sken Galis. And if you have any emails that you want to send me, check out carlostonightpodcast@gmail.com. Dale que viene lo